What's going on, guys? It's Kyle again with DTOM Knives and Gear, and today we're going to be talking about the Microtech Bounty Hunter Edition on these two beautiful knives. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back, everybody. First things first, these knives were provided to the channel by my good friend Lefty EDC. He has now started a YouTube channel, and I will have it listed down below. Definitely go check him out and subscribe because he does some really cool videos for right-handed knives and left-handed knives. He does, of course, you know, the left-handed community out there is kind of at the disadvantage when it comes to knives. So he does have a lot of a good perspective on right-handed knives that work well for lefties. So if you're left-handed, definitely go check him out. And if you're not left-handed, check him out anyway because he's just awesome. So also going to be on the channel today is this one. This is also a Microtech Ultratech. This one was provided to the channel by Freak Show EDC. Jeremy has been a good guy, and he sent me this one along with other knives, and we're going to bring this out in this video to kind of compare to these. This is going to be kind of a short video. I've already had a couple of Microtechs on the channel. This one is mainly to show you the really cool job that they do with their signature series and just special editions that they have, because this is the Bounty Hunter. The Bounty Hunter, of course, very popular right now due to the show The Mandalorian, and Lefty EDC is a huge fan of that show. And I am too. I haven't really caught up a whole lot. My family is just like diehard into it. And since I work all the time and I'm doing a bunch of other stuff, I don't get to watch it with them always, so I am way behind. But I am a huge fan of Star Wars, not like a Star Wars nerd or anything, but these kind of things are really, really cool. Just see if we can kind of get, there are other videos on this thing, obviously. I just kind of want to give you a good look at what this thing is all about. So cool. As you can see there, kind of, sort of. If it'll work for us, there's a serial number, 5150. Let's see what the little one is. What we got here? This is the UTX-85, and this one is 1125. So this was the regular Ultratech size, and this is the UTX-85. So it's basically just 15% smaller than your regular Ultratech. And that's pretty cool. I'm glad. They also have a UTX-70, which is, of course, also smaller than this one. And that's kind of cool that they offer different sizes and whatnot. They also offer different blade shapes, and both of these are the Tonto, so I can get them in frame. But they make serrated versions, and they make all kind of other stuff. This one is, of course, they make just tons of variations of this knife. This one has the drop point. It's interesting on the box and on the knife for the Signature Series Bounty Hunters, doesn't actually say the steel. Like, the steel is nowhere to be found on the blade and whatnot, which I like a sterile blade and stuff, but it doesn't even say on the box. And so I really can only guess that it's either 204P or M390 or LMAX. I really don't know. They do kind of, depending on what times they drop and when they're making them, is what steels they have. So any of those steels would be perfectly fine for me. I just don't know which one it is. One thing that you can see and that I do dig is the weathered look, or the battle kind of look of the scales, and then the apocalyptic finish. Whenever I first unboxed these, I was calling this the apocalyptic finish because that's what I thought it was because it is all kind of like battle worn stuff. But I was wrong. Big Board Knife and Gear pointed out, because he knows the tons of stuff and that I don't know. And he pointed out, he was like, hey, they're talking about the blade. And so I was like, oh, and then I looked it up, and it is the apocalyptic finish is the blade. It's kind of a heavier stonewash look to the blade, which I dig. I love the stonewash look of any blade. And then, of course, this is a very heavy stonewash, and they call this the apocalyptic finish. And so, yeah, I was totally wrong about that. But I really, really like it. Both of these, this one actually is, the 85 is actually just a little bit darker. You see that? I kind of love that. But then again, you can also see that weathered look and the battle look, they're different on this knife to this knife, so none of them are the same. I really dig how they do that because it really does hide wear. I mean, this thing already looks worn, and so it's it can be a very good carryable knife, and you really never know if it gets scratched or dinged up because it is like that already. So I kind of dig that. This is built just the exact same as the regular Ultratech, except for the paint scheme and the real milling areas right here to mimic the bounty hunter and the stuff that goes with that. I mean, then you got the little logo there. I mean, it's just a really cool looking knife. Definitely, I can see Star Wars fans collecting all because they have the I don't know if I've even seen a 70, but I'm pretty sure they have a 70, 85 Ultratech, and then even the Combat Troodon, however you want to say it, which is freaking awesome because those things are huge. And you can even get it in the Hellhound blade and whatnot. So I can see a huge Star Wars fan who is also a knife buff collecting all of them, which would be pretty expensive. I believe these right here are like $315 to $325 or something. These right here are a little bit less. But, you know, for something that is kind of a special edition, they can't keep them in stock. I looked right before I did this video. I didn't see any in stock, but they are releasing them. So, and then, of course, you can find them on the secondary market. But all in all, these are all great knives. Now, one thing that the Microtechs, you know, are basically the industry standard is their action and their build quality. So this one feels the exact same as this one. It kind of has a little bit different sound. Almost throatier, more deeper here, and this is kind of like more of a clicky. But they feel about the same. And then the small one, this one feels like it might be a little bit easier to engage and disengage. It does have, on all of these knives, pretty much the exact same style of button, and it takes some force to get it out of there. Now, I'm used to it because I had another knife that was similar to this that had the same kind of action, and so me getting these out, this one probably is just a tad bit tighter, a little bit stronger, but getting these out are really not that bad. But I did hand this knife to my son and then a couple of guys at work, and they were having trouble getting this thing to come back, you know, actually disengaging the button. So it is kind of stiff. They do that on purpose, so you have no chance of this going off in your pocket. And in my opinion, there is no chance for these going off in your pocket. But yeah, it's just, you know, it's an OTF. They're super freaking fun to just sit there and play with. Now, because of the jimping, you might tear up your finger if you do like me and you just do this all day long, because it's pretty aggressive, which it's supposed to be. But yeah, super freaking fun. I actually use it sometimes to be like, hey, kids, you go over there. You go over there. That's like a pointer. Don't call the police. I promise I don't threaten them with it, but it's kind of fun to use as a pointer. So anyways, really, really cool. I really am glad that I've had these and been able to experience multiple ones. As always, the glass breakers on these things, I do hate. I just don't like glass breakers much on these because, you know, it sits pretty deep carry, except for this. You know, you really can't get your pants in between that little area there. But it sits, you know, pretty well in the pocket, but you are always going to see that glass breaker. I don't care about knives sticking up out of my pocket. However, I'm just not a fan of glass breakers. So, you know, it is what it is, because Microtech that's what they do. They put it on there. Kind of wish they wouldn't, but they do. Not a big deal, but they are reversible. So you can put this, you know, on either side to carry it however you want. However, you know, the button is on this side, so if you're right-handed and you're taking it out of your pocket, your thumb goes here. If you're left-handed, then you kind of have to turn. I'm doing this off camera. If you're right-handed and you're taking it out of your pocket like this, the button is right here, so you just kind of twist and open. If you're left-handed, the pocket clip's over here. You are taking it out of your pocket, but you have to turn the knife to be able to get it out. So, not a huge deal, but I'm sure Lefty EDC will go over that in more detail whenever he gets these knives back, because he sent them to me and he just now started his channel. So, I'm sure he'll be doing a video on these as soon as I get them back to him, which is why we're doing this video right now. But if you have any questions, I am not the know-all, end-all of Microtech knives, but I've handled some, and I really do enjoy them. They are really well made. I love the action. I love that they're so much fun. There are definitely cheaper versions of OTFs that you can get out there if you're just wanting a little fidget toy, but if you're wanting a quality OTF, Microtech is pretty damn good. I mean, you really can't go wrong, just like any other OTF other than like the deadbolt or deadlock. You know, all of them do have a little bit of blade play, but these seem to have less than others. So very, very cool. I am so, so happy to have been able to. This is so much fun. Like when you have multiple ones and you can do this, you have so much more fun, and then your wife also so much more wants to kill you when you're playing with them like this. But yeah, these are so much fun, guys. If you have been thinking about a Microtech OTF, I would highly suggest it if you have the means and the funds to be able to do so, to have one in the collection. And they keep their, you know, you won't really lose a whole lot of money if you decide to get one of these, maybe with the plain Jane version. But if you get one of these, you're not going to lose money if you don't like it and you want to get rid of it on the secondary market. But Lefty EDC, you are the man for letting me check these out. Freak Show EDC, Jeremy, you are the man for sending this along. I'm glad I was able to kind of put these side by side to kind of, you know, the plain Jane version versus the special edition. You know, they basically are the exact same, just a little bit different on the color scheme and some milling that's going on. It's really the only difference. I love you all. Stay safe in this crazy world that we are living in, and we will see you in the next one.